Bring the lights down low, time to start the show. Lights, camera, you know what we mean. Behold the magic of the silver screen. Some movies rock, some movies shock. They're powerful or odd. We cover them all on your favorite pod. They're dramatic, funny, sometimes scary. That's not weird, that's extraordinary. I got the need and I've got a fever. So play me a little dream weaver. Life moves pretty fast. Some will fizzle and some movies last. I understood there would be no math. It's the 30-something movie podcast. Be excellent to each other. Peace out and word to your mother. They're from the best decades. Movie magic that never fades. Lightsabers clash, phasers set to stun. Action-packed from dusk till dawn. We have deep thoughts and questions 3. Come share our love of the movies we see. Life moves pretty fast. Some will fizzle and some movies last. I understood there would be no math. It's the 30-something movie podcast.
It is another episode of the 30-something movie podcast, and who knows what evil lurks in the African jungle, Pat? It's not the Shadow, it's the Phantom.
In this case, it's the Phantom.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the Phantom might know what evil lurks in the shadows of the African jungle, but...
Yes.
Yeah. The Phantom knows. That's a little slightly different.
Yeah.
Pat,
different thing entirely.
how are you doing, man?
John, we're doing well.
Excellent.
We're doing well. I'm really excited to talk about this movie.
For you and I, okay, we'll just... I mean, the curtain has been ripped off. I think this is the first time both you and I have seen this movie.
Yeah, and I'm just going to preface it by saying this is like a Commando level reaction.
Yeah. That's always fun.
Yeah. Yeah. This is just a fun movie.
Did you tell me earlier today that you immediately watched this twice?
Yes,
Okay.
I did. I was like, wait a minute, I got to go back and watch this. This is really good.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. So we're talking The Phantom. Our movies, since it is now 2026, depending on when you're listening to this, it is now 2026. So we are in 1996, and this first month of the year is our Double Lives month. So we have already had some really good ones so far. We started with Mission Impossible, a lot of spies, a lot of double lives there. Multiplicity was last week. Phantom is this week. And then next week is The Cable Guy. We've got some other Patreon episodes for this month. Freeway from 1996 is our Patreon episode, and our quick little Patreon short is on the TV series that started in 1996, Nash Bridges. So we've got that going on over on the Patreon. But yeah, we're actually almost done with our first month of 1996. But the Phantom is our episode this time, and I think we're both pretty excited about this one.
Yes.
This is before we really kind of even get started here, this is kind of in my wheelhouse of movies and heroes that fit into that like 1930s, 1940s kind of like the when you start to branch from like the pulp heroes of the 1920s, 1930s into you start, I mean, at the end of the 1930s, you start with Superman, you start with Batman, all of that. And then you've got some of the heroes like the Shadow and the Phantom and Doc Savage. And later you get heroes that are set in the time period, not created, but set. You got the Rocketeer from the 1930s, 40s. You've got Indiana Jones from the 1930s and 40s. So you've got all these characters from that time period. And I think for me, that time period is probably one of my favorite time periods to set a story in.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm right there with you. Everything you just said, except for the ridiculous amount of comic book knowledge that I just simply don't have, I totally agree with. Right down to the time period, just the look of the vehicles, the costuming. Yeah, the whole thing is just awesome.
Captain America. I even forgot Captain America.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that I think we talked, or maybe I'm thinking of the Rocketeer Minute podcast where they talked about there was like, was it the same director that did Rocketeer and Captain America: First Avenger?
Yes.
Or the same? Okay, so
Yep.
it was director. Yeah,
Joe Johnston. Yeah.
And it really just. Do I say they shared a visual language? Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I think
But-
it definitely spiritual language is not the right thing, but yes, there's like the tone, the some of the visuals very
Right.
similar. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this movie has that too. Honestly, even not superhero, but like think like The Mummy. I kind of was The Mummy 30s or was that 20s?
That's a good question.
And I don't know, maybe I'm getting a little bit, out over my skis when I say The Mummy, but I mean it still was set in that night before World War II.
Mm.
Yeah, I kind of put that in there too. I kind of like that time period. Again, the costuming, the look. There was enough technology that you could be like globe-trotting,
Mm-hmm.
but not so much technology that I don't want to say everything was easy, but there was still that spirit of adventure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The Mummy, the Brendan Fraser Mummy from Fraser, I got to make sure I say that right. Mummy from 1999 was set in 1926. So,
26. Okay,
yes, so like right around
kind of what we were talking about.
Yeah, like right around that time period, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So you
yes.
ask how I'm doing, and I'm doing well because I discovered a movie that I had not seen before, and I really liked it.
There you go. Yeah, this one was a lot of fun. I can't wait to get into talking about this one. All right.
How have you been?
Oh, good. I think getting back to school after the winter break. Like I remember, I got back first day and I was like, okay, all right. Had 2 weeks off. That's good. That's fine. And then immediately after the end of the first day, I was like, I think I need another 2 weeks. It was kind of like I came back to it and I was like, I'm starting to feel like I'm losing my voice after one day. I haven't used this voice in a while.
Yeah, the first day definitely hit with a little bit of a punch.
Yeah.
Every other school district I've talked to had an institute day on Monday.
See, I like that idea.
It's a great idea.
Come back, like get eased into like let's get some stuff ready. Let's really kind of plan out. Like the kids are coming back tomorrow. Let's get our stuff together. Let's plan some stuff out. Let's like really make it a good first day back for them. I actually kind of like that idea. I would be in favor of if we decided that we wanted to do that.
I love this plan, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Twould to get my vote. Let's say it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So. All right. Well, what also gets my vote is superheroes that beat up bad guys and go adventuring.
Yes.
So let's put on our purple spandex and head to the jungle.
Welcome to the jungle, baby.
Yeah, exactly. This one is The Phantom. As we talk, we are going to be spoiling a bit here and there. So if we start to mention another movie, there's other movies and properties that I'm sure we're going to talk about as we talk about this one. So just be aware. We're going to do that. If you hear the name of a movie and you don't want to get spoiled on it, just hit skip maybe once or twice, and we will move on past that. Make sure you visit our website, 30podcast, the number 3, the number 0, the word podcast.com. Leave us a rating, a voicemail. You can become a co-executive producer on Patreon with us. That really helps out the show. Anybody who joins up there and is able to contribute any amount, if it's $1, if it's $2, if it's $5 a month, whatever, really, really helps out the show. So if you're enjoying the show, if you can spare that just as a way of saying thank you and showing your appreciation, we really, really appreciate that. And we're so thankful for the people who are part of that group over there. There is free stuff you can get to as well over on the Patreon, but for some of the extra bonus episodes, longer episodes, and other types of things, definitely join up over there. And if you join at that paid level, then there's some added benefits to that as well. But thank you so much to all of our Patreon folks. We so much appreciate you supporting the show in that way, and it really means a lot to us.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible that whole thing happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, I second everything you say. Much appreciated.
Yeah. All right. So The Phantom. This movie came out on June 7th, 1996, rated PG, with a runtime of 1 hour and 40 minutes, directed by Simon Windsor, who did Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man and Free Willy. Writers were Jeffrey Boehm and George Z. Kaplan. Boehm did Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Inner Space, and Kaplan did White Fang and Switchback. Producer was Joe Wizen, who did Return to Me and the Whole Nine Yards. Composer was David Newman, who did Matilda and Galaxy Quest. Cinematographer was Russell Boyd, who did Master and Commander and Gallipoli. Editor was Terry Rawlings, who did Alien and Blade Runner. I'm just going to stop right there for a second. That is a powerhouse group of people there.
I was just going to say, like, every single, like, that should be a Patreon, or not a Patreon. That should be like an epiversary. We talk about all the movies.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Let's put that on the short list for when we hit 700.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about all the movies that the people that did. What was this called?
The Phantom.
Phantom.
Yeah.
Sorry. All I could think of was the word spandex. Everybody.
The Spandex.
Well, we'll get into Billy Zane's physique in just a second, all right? But be that as it may.
Coming to theaters this summer, a new kind of superhero, the Spandex.
I love everything. Right now, everybody listening, this is top quality pod right here. This is top quality. This is why you come to us. This is why the four of you are out there.
This is the answer to the question that Jewel asked in the 90s. Who will save your soul? It will be the 30-something movie podcast.
It will be. Mm-hmm. And by the way, let's expand the shout out. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Because I mentioned Jewel.
Because you mentioned Jewel. Mm-hmm. Surely You Can't Be Serious.
Yes.
Love. Yeah. And I'm just like, because they did Jewel.
I am serious, Pat, and don't call me Shirley.
Yes. And like, because I remember getting that album. Tammy and I were huge fans of that album. Are huge fans of that album. And Jagged Little Pill.
Yes.
And so it's great hearing those guys like, yeah. So
I remember going to buy and bought my copy of Jagged Little Pill at the Sam Goody in the mall.
Bam. There it is.
That's peak 90s. Well, that's peak 90s high school right there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
That's, in fact, that sentence may be the most 90s thing I've said so far, is that in high school, I went and bought Jagged Little Pill at the Sam Goody in the mall.
Sam Goody. What? Yeah.
No.
Well, surely, guys, you absolutely knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
So Jason and Dee, again, fantastic. So that's the shout out there for Jewel, Pieces of You.
Yeah.
And Who Will Save Your Soul for the 5 listeners, 3 of which are our other co-hosts. They're listening to the episode right now. What the heck were we even talking about? I don't know. You just said you had me at Spandex. I'm not sure.
The Spandex.
That's right. I don't even remember when we got into the bit. I'm sorry. I just went completely off the rails there.
You wanted to do a special episode where we just talk about the people that worked on this movie.
That's why you're the host.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, like, honestly,
I retain memory of what we talked about 20 seconds ago. That's why I'm the host.
That's why you're the host.
All right. Well,
can you easily just shoot through the list of movies that all of those individuals worked on again? Like, just go down, like, just listen to that list.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Inner Space, White Fang, Switchback, Return to Me, The Whole Nine Yards, Matilda, Galaxy Quest, Master and Commander, Gallipoli, Alien, and Blade Runner.
That is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think for our 700th episode, let's just review all those movies.
Let's go through.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's good stuff. Like that's an amazing amount of stuff. So, production company on this one was Paramount Pictures. Budget was about $45 million. Box office was about $17 million. Flickmetrics gives this one a 52%, and I couldn't actually get anything to come up on CinemaScore for this one, so I'm not sure that there is a CinemaScore available for this movie. So, we'll have to take a look at that a little bit later and see. But I could not, when I searched The Phantom, I could not get that to bring me anything on CinemaScore. So, we'll check that out later.
Yeah. Was Batman Forever, was that a box office success? Did it make its money at the box office?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it made quite a bit. I don't remember exactly how much, but it made quite a bit.
And then curious that we kind of were looking back a little bit more with a skeptical eye.
Mm-hmm.
And this one bombed at the box office by all metrics.
Exactly, yeah.
And my understanding is that, well, I know what I'm looking back, but you're also like looking back and like, this is a really good movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
interesting.
I think part of it, and as we get into it, we'll talk more, but I think part of it too might be that I have no pony in this race when it comes to the Phantom. Like I know the history of the Phantom based on what I've searched and what I've looked up. I didn't read the Phantom comics, the newspaper serials. I didn't see any of the old, like they have some old Phantom serials from the 1940s. There, I believe, was a Phantom movie that came out in the early to late 2000s. There might have been a TV show that somebody tried to bring out. So I have no connection to this character whatsoever. So what I'm wondering too is, was I dogging on Batman Forever? Because it took a character that I really, really loved, and it made it all about the toys and the merchandising. And is that why I was angry at it? And this one, I don't have any preconceived notions about this to be angry about.
Were you angry at Batman back then?
Batman Forever?
Yeah.
No. As a teenager, I loved it. I thought it was campy and stupid and silly and fun enough. And it wasn't when I really started to dislike the Batman movies was Batman and Robin, because I went to that one and then it just seemed too stupid. And that was the first time I think actually, because I really loved the comics. That was kind of when I started collecting comics, was when Bane first showed up and broke Bruce Wayne's back.
Right. Okay.
So that's when
Bane's
Bane is in Batman and Robin. Well, no, let's put it this way. A version of Bane is in Batman and Robin, and it is the most awful version ever. And so much of that movie took characters that I enjoyed. When you see how well done Mr. Freeze is in the Batman animated series, and the way Bane is treated as a villain in the comics, and all of those different bits and pieces, even Poison Ivy, the way Poison Ivy is in the comics and the animated series and all that other stuff that came before Batman and Robin, when that movie came out and it was Uma Thurman and I think it was a professional wrestler that played Bane, and Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, it was just awful. And I think at that point I was maybe late high school, I just hated it. And that kind of soured me on the rest of Joel Schumacher's Batman stuff. And so I think at that point I was like, And now looking back at Batman Forever, I think I feel differently about it because of Batman and Robin. And I still enjoyed it for a little while. Like when I'd rewatch Batman and Batman Forever, I'd rewatch it and I'd be like, okay, this is campy and stupid. But I liked it as a kid. Right. I'm fine with it now. Like I don't get frustrated with it. This last time that I watched Batman Forever, I don't know that I got frustrated with, maybe I did a little bit. Yeah, I got a little frustrated with it. But I watched it this last time and I was like, this is not a good movie. Like I still am entertained by part of it. Frankly, I think I'm more entertained by the soundtrack than I am by the movie itself.
Yeah.
Because that's a great soundtrack. But watching it this last time, I was like, there is so much this movie could have been that it was not. Right. And I hate when I hear stories about how you could have had this movie, but the studio interfered, or we did it this way because McDonald's got upset and we needed to, have toys and this kind of stuff. So this is why we made the movie this way. When you have that kind of interference from where the creative people should be able to just do their work and let them do it well, then that's when I start to get upset.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
But with the Phantom, I don't feel any of that because I don't have backstory with the Phantom. I don't have, I haven't experienced this for years. I've seen this poster, this, VHS case, the DVD case, whatever. I've seen this many, many, many years, and it just was never, it was always one of those, it's like, I should watch that sometime. And then never did. Like never actually sat down to watch it, but I'd always kind of look at it and go, I think I would enjoy that. I got to make sure I watch that sometime. And just until it came up for the podcast, I was like, finally, I'm going to make myself watch this because for years I've looked at it and gone, I think I might enjoy that.
Well, I was looking for a 4K Blu-ray as soon as it got done.
Of that one, I'm not sure you're going to find it.
No, I've heard they're possibly in the next year, but it's just possibly, it's not. I think there's a Blu-ray, but not a 4K.
Yeah.
So, and you're right, we don't have a history with this, but here's the other thing. This is a really good movie.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
All right.
I am looking up real quick. I believe, if I'm looking here, I believe I had just seen something recently. Yes, there is a Blu-ray for this. I was looking to see if I could find a date. Oh, that's going to be fun. So every once in a while I will order from the kind of the boutique Blu-ray sellers that are out there. And one of the ones that I've gotten some really good discs from the company is called Kino Lorber. And it looks like Kino Lorber they are doing the Phantom 4K Blu-ray disc that's going to come out. All it says is the release is expected to arrive on the market later this year. And that was posted May of 2025. So hopefully, if they're still working on it, then hopefully we get that soon, because if it was expected at the end of this last year, then it should be right around this time.
Yes. Some.
That's the hope, at least.
Yes.
So yeah, I think there's a spot on here where I can have it email me if there's any updates on when it becomes available. But yeah, that would be exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's the other thing, too. And I know we're kind of jumping ahead of ourselves a little bit here. Oh, hold on. Maybe I found something else. The Kino Lorber, let's see. Facebook group. Now I'm just like falling down the rabbit hole of when is this thing coming out. All right. I'll do a little bit of digging and see if I can find anything else, because I'm not sure this Facebook page I just found, I don't think they're going to give. It's from Kino Lorber themselves that they posted up, and they said coming soon. And apparently there's some nice deleted scenes that were not in the original. So they don't have an update here when it's going to come out, but hopefully it's soon. That would be awesome. Well, it would make sense for them to wait and do it for this year, since it's the 30th anniversary.
That'd be perfect. It's the perfect time for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the Blu-ray that we all need and deserve.
So getting a little bit ahead of our normal conversation about the movies, because we still haven't talked about the actors yet, but getting a little bit ahead.
Have we even announced what we did announce the movie? Okay, so we did get that out there.
Yes.
All right.
The Spandex.
Yes, that's the movie. So no, we haven't gotten to the actors yet, but I do want to say this. The reason why I think this would be a lot of fun to see as a 4K is because even when you look at this and you think, okay, this movie bombed at the box office, but it's a lot of fun. It's got some great actors in it. It's got, like, the people that worked on this are amazing people. And when I look at, especially like the cinematographer, the editor, the composer, all that stuff, this movie, even if you look at this and go, yeah, it didn't do well, it kind of, when it came out, it was up against some really stiff competition here. It is a beautifully shot movie. Like, there were scenes, I'm watching this movie, and there are scenes like when the seaplane is flying through the air, and they're flying over through the air, and the white stallion Hero, I think was his horse's name, is galloping through the trees and everything else. I'm looking at that, I'm going, this is beautifully shot. Like this,
it's beautifully shot.
If this movie is a bomb type movie has no right to look this good in terms of the cinematography, the camera shots, the action, all that stuff. It is so well put together.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And how about, like, speaking of the seaplane, what about the scene where the seaplane's like taking off?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like absolutely gorgeous. And then what's the horse's name? Hero?
I think it's Hero. Yeah.
When Hero, okay, and we're getting ahead because favorite scene.
I know.
Was it the dog or the wolf or the wolf dog?
The wolf was Devil.
Devil.
Yeah.
And it's 100% wolf, or there's some dog?
I think it's 100% wolf.
Well, when the wolf goes and then fights off and then runs over, and then the wolf barks at the horse, and the horse neighs at the wolf, and then the horse Hero takes off, the camera where that horse is just bolting through the woods or the jungle. That was absolutely gorgeous, and that thing was moving.
Yeah,
that thing had a fire lit under it, and that horse was absolutely hauling through the jungle.
Yeah,
it doesn't get any better than that. Like,
no.
I mean, it's absolutely stellar.
Yeah.
Have I mentioned Billy Zane's physique for this movie as well? I'm not sure if I have.
You started to mention it, but
Yeah.
So that's a decent transition. Billy Zane played Kit Walker and the Phantom.
Yeah.
He was in Dead Calm and Titanic. Should also mention he's in one of my favorite movies ever, Tombstone.
Mm-hmm.
Christy Swanson played Diana Palmer. She was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer and The Chase. Treat Williams and his mustache were Xander Drax. He was in Hair, and he was Hair, and he was also in Hair. He was also in Deep Rising. Catherine Zeta-Jones, I believe this is the first time. Is this her first movie? I meant to go look on IMDb and see if I feel like this was at least, if not her first movie, this was right around the time she was just about to hit it big in Hollywood.
Yeah.
She had not yet, but hold on, Pat. I'll do you a favor here.
Dreamweaver. I believe you can get me through the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. They come in those flying suits, right?
Yeah.
And then, and then they, she ends up becoming a good guy, because the bad guys
Right. Yeah.
were bad. Like, perfect.
Well, because the girls got to stick together.
Girls got to stick together.
James Remar plays Quill. He was in The Warriors and 48 Hours. I always mess up the name. Kerry Hiroyuki Tagawa played the Sengh Brotherhood leader. He was in Mortal Kombat, which we just did a few weeks ago. Also in Rising Sun.
And he's awesome. Let's put that
awesome.
in there. That guy is awesome.
Another awesome villain in this.
Yes.
There are deleted scenes. So Jeffrey Rush, he was in Pirates of the Caribbean. Barbossa. He was Pirates of the Caribbean Barbossa. He was Dr. Axel Bush in some deleted scenes. So hopefully if we get the 4K Blu-ray, they'll have those deleted scenes in there and we'll be able to see him in that.
Oh my gosh.
Brian Thompson played an ugly pirate. He was in The Terminator and Cobra. And Roger Reese, who passed in 2015, played the president of Bengalla. He was in Robin Hood Men in Tights and The Prestige. So, I mean, not only do you have an all-star group of people putting this movie together, you've got an all-star cast of people. The cast of characters in this is crazy, like crazy awesome. It's just
and what about who was the guy that played the taxi driver?
Oh, yeah.
Because that guy's been in a bunch. He is a total, the guy you...
He's a total that guy.
Yeah.
He was
in Ace Ventura.
He's a total New York that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is his name? I meant to pull him and put him in the cast of people. Yeah, he's been in so many different things. He was... Where is my taxi driver here? Al the Cabbie. John Capodice.
All right.
Or maybe it might be Capodici. I don't know. He passed away in 2024. But yes, he was in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. He was in Speed. He was in Independence Day. He was an Army officer in Jacob's Ladder. He's been in a ton of stuff.
And he was awesome in this.
Yeah.
Especially, when he figures out the jobs. I'll be right here, sir. You just let me know where you need to go.
Yeah, I had these appraised. I'm going to stay here all day if you need me.
That's awesome.
He was also Mr. Big in Naked Gun 33 1/3.
Really?
He's been in a ton of stuff. Like, I'm looking at his IMDb. Yeah. You just go down the list and it's like, seen that, seen that, seen that, seen that, seen that. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's just settle it up and say this movie is stacked.
Anytime I get a chance to mention this one. In 1982, the cabbie in this movie, in 1982, he was in the classic monster movie Q, the Winged Serpent. This was the movie that I believe introduced me to Tubi and the fun ridiculousness that can be found on Tubi.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tubi.
I was looking for like fun, stupid monster movies one year, I think in October, and somehow I did a search for this, and somebody on some message board said, "Cue the Winged Serpent. It's ridiculous. It's kind of gory. It's stupid. It's fun. And it's free to watch on Tubi." And I'm like, "What is Tubi?" And then I clicked. I found the movie. I watched the movie, and then I was like, "What else is on Tubi?" And then
Yeah.
I was lost for the rest of time.
Right. To be.
So, yeah. The Phantom's costume deliberately avoided some modern day armor. You got a lot of superheroes wearing armor around this time in the movies, but to stay faithful to the 1936 comic strip design, they stayed away from that and just went with
The spandex.
I really feel like if we're going to create our own movie someday, we just need to create a superhero called The Spandex, and that's from 30-something podcast studios. That's our new movie.
That's all you need. Hey, can we talk about Billy Zane for a second?
I think you want
There
to.
was
Let's, well, hold on just a second. Let me get you. Okay, here, ready? Go.
Dreamweaver.
Okay, go ahead.
So Billy Zane had the option. There was an option of like a muscle suit that he could put on,
Yeah.
like some of the Batman.
Yeah.
And actually, Billy Zane just spent a year and a half like pumping iron, lifting weights, and working out. So it's just, yeah, man, right on. Because you earned that compliment. You look fantastic in that movie.
Muscle suit? We don't need no stinking muscle suit.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I was reading on some of the trivia stuff that he was actually a big fan of the Phantom. Like somehow somebody, while he was working on another movie, somebody had got him in touch with the old comic strips, and he just like fell in love with it. And and there was that one, and the other trivia one I saw that was kind of fun was when they were taking breaks during filming, he would actually run off the set and stay in his Phantom costume, but he would like run off the set and go somewhere to buy sushi.
That's outstanding.
I love it. That's awesome. If I had a Phantom suit, that's how I would buy sushi too.
Yeah, I guess he shaved his head to fit in the costume better.
Oh, okay.
And
that makes sense.
So they had to film all the non-costume scenes first.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's outstanding.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
I also did read that he performed a lot of his own stunts in this. So the riding horseback, the jungle action scenes, like a lot of that stuff, he actually did that himself.
Yeah, man.
So,
right on for him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen him in a lot of movies, but I loved his character. I mean, he had a great character in Titanic. I loved his character as the actor in Tombstone. Pretty much anything I've ever seen him in, he's done a great job.
Back to the Future.
Yes, Back to the Future.
Demon Knight.
Yep. What disappoints me is, and we'll continue and we'll eventually talk about what happened in this movie, but I'll get my disappointment out of the way. If this movie had not bombed financially, the deal that had been written up for this was it was supposed to be a trilogy.
Of course it was.
Because they signed, Billy Zane signed on for a Phantom trilogy. And because it did so poorly in the box office, we did not get a Phantom trilogy.
And that's to our loss.
Right.
And I hope Billy's feelings are too hurt.
Right.
I mean that. I mean this. I don't want anybody that was on this movie. I would feel really bad if their feelings were hurt because it bombed in the box office.
No.
Because we let this movie down.
Yeah.
Society did.
So here's where I feel like this one, as we were watching this the other day, my wife and I were kind of talking through some of this. This feels so much like The Rocketeer.
Mm-hmm.
Because, not just because of the time period and the pulp hero kind of stuff and all of that, not just because of that, because The Rocketeer, in my mind, did not do as well as it could have done because of when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
So The Rocketeer came out, if I remember right, in between the release of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and Terminator 2.
Mm-hmm.
How are you possibly going to compete with Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, the Kevin Costner, who is hotter than hot at this point in his career, Kevin Costner as Robin Hood with Morgan Freeman, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 2. Like, you're not going to compete with those. When I look at what came out around the same time, let me read you what came out around the same time as this movie in May and June of 1996. And I think this will help you understand why this movie did not do well, even though it has amazing production value, amazing cast and crew, all the things a blockbuster movie should have.
Okay.
But here's my guess as to why it didn't do as well, because here's what came out at around the same time. Okay. So June of 1996, The Phantom is actually listed as number 11 in the box office, and it made almost all of its money in June of 1996. It didn't make a whole lot more after that, but here's what came out at the same time. The Rock, starring Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage. Mission Impossible. Twister. The Cable Guy. Eraser, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame. Dragonheart. Eddie, The Nutty Professor, and Independence Day.
That's some competition.
Those are the 10 that came before The Phantom. So that's my guess is that's why The Phantom did not do as well as you would hope it would have done. Because pretty much all of those came out within maybe 3, I think the furthest one out was 4 weeks. Some of these listed on here were released in early to mid-May. And so they would have come out just a little bit before The Phantom. I think the only one that maybe, there were a couple that came out after The Phantom, but it's that summer. Basically, those are the top 10 movies from that summer. And that's what it had to compete up against.
I'm going to say, yeah, okay, I hear you. And that's totally true. But just like The Rocketeer, it's not like this movie got bested by those. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, this movie definitely holds its own against those.
Oh,
just
it does.
Like, I think,
it does. But at the time, it does now.
And I'm not saying you're saying otherwise. I apologize if that's how it came across. I'm almost saying like that's to the people that have not seen it.
Right.
Yeah, that's some competition. But how? Okay, it pulled the other folks in, but it's not like those were better movies than these.
Right.
Than this.
Right.
Same as The Rocket. So same as The Rocketeer. Yeah, I'm trying to accentuate your point, not debate it. And I apologize if it came across that way. But
No. And I think that's why both this movie, The Rocketeer, and movies like it, that's why they become cult classics later on, is because you don't get a chance to see them when they first came out. And that's why they might not have been successful when they first came out, because they got drowned out by the big explosions or the disaster movie or the other people who are crazy hot in their careers at this time. Tom Cruise, Jim Carrey, Nicolas Cage, Sean Connery, Disney animated film, Independence Day. I cannot remember a time during that summer when I didn't see images of the White House being blown up by an alien spaceship. And so I think that is where, yes, like this quality wise, this movie is as good, if not better, than the other movies in terms of quality. I think it just gets drowned out by the noise, and that's the only problem.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, to everything you said. And even just to avoid the whole, well, wait a minute, people, response and which the best. Okay, well, let's take what's the best out of it. It definitely holds its own, and it's definitely right up there with those movies.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Like I said, this is a Commando level reaction to this for me.
Yeah. All right, real quick, do a quick voiceover synopsis of this one. We'll give you the trailer audio, and then we will break the plot down into 10 major moments for you. And then we've already kind of talked about like what we love about this one, but we'll gush a little bit more later. Pat may have some more things he wants to say about Billy Zane's physique here in just a minute, and then we'll go from there. But here's the trailer. Yes, have some. Here's the trailer. In a world where legends never die, one man is justice incarnate. Kit Walker, known as the Phantom, must stop the ruthless Xander Drax before an ancient power falls into the wrong hands. Only one man, or Ghost, can save the world from evil. It is the Phantom.
Just take a look around. Darkness rules the earth.
In a dangerous world.
Governments crumble. Chaos reigns.
In a treacherous time.
There is opportunity in chaos.
Evil is a fact.
We shall succeed where they have failed.
Drax is on a quest for a supernatural power. They know far too much.
And courage.
Stop them. You're the only one who can.
Is a phantom.
Who was that guy? Somebody I already killed.
some who say he is only a myth. Soon they will discover the Phantom is real.
All right. So awesome trailer, by the way. Like it was a very cool trailer too. Like, and that I don't remember seeing the trailer on TV or going to other movies and seeing it. So I don't know too if maybe some of the marketing, didn't run as strong as it could have on this one. They might have thought by the time they were ready to release this, they might have thought like, look at the other slate of movies that's up. Like, let's not even bother dumping money into the marketing. We'll just put it out and we'll see how it does. Yeah, and I'm just spitballing things here. I don't know for certain, but that is I'm guessing based on other things that we've heard of happening with movies that end up kind of getting this treatment. But major moments. So we're going to break this down into 10 major moments to help kind of summarize the movie. If you haven't seen it, or if you haven't seen it lately, this will help kind of jog your memory just a bit. And then after that, we'll dive a little bit more into what we really enjoy about this and get a little deeper, maybe get a little deeper into some of the backstory of what the Phantom is. So the movie opens in the early 16th century as a young boy watches his father murdered by pirate leader Kabai Sengh during a brutal attack at sea. Child survives by jumping overboard, washes ashore on Bengalla, and is taken in by local tribesmen, and there he receives the Skull Ring. He swears an oath to fight evil and begins the legacy of the Phantom, a role that is passed down for 400 years from father to son, creating the illusion of immortality. And we immediately, my wife and I, as we're watching this, we're immediately like, yep, superhero origin story, got to be an orphan.
Right.
It tends to always be a requirement. So
I love the way they did the origin story too. It was just like bam, 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 and we're into the action.
Right. We don't have to spend half a movie, not knocking some of those other movies, but we don't have to spend half a movie or an entire movie. Like, here's the origin story one more time. We gotta, we need to like spend a long time on building this up. No, it was like, I think less than 5 minutes, and I got everything I need to know.
I got everything I need to know. And can I just expand a little bit on that?
Yeah.
We don't need to spend half a movie. How about with some other superheroes who shall not be named? How about like multiple movies all telling the origin story? Mm-hmm. Like it's like how many times do I need to see the origin story? Okay, like I get it. Like, your mom's name is Martha, and
I was about to say Martha's pearls falling in slow motion in a
that's right.
In a puddle on the street in Crime Alley.
Yeah.
If you've seen one, you've seen one.
Mm-hmm. And not to disparage it, like because I'm not ripping on Batman. I'm just saying, like, every single movie they show you the origin, and this it's just like bam, we're in. And this was a character that we weren't even familiar with,
right?
So I mean, we're so familiar with Batman that we're sitting there going, well, it was really, Joe Chill and not Joe Napier or whatever the heck it was or Joe Napier shot him, but he's not the guy that became the Joker, whatever the heck it is. We're able to pick out all the little incorrects and imperfections because we know that story so well. This, we don't know the story. It just bam, done. There it is.
Sometimes you can origin story stuff to death and you end up with, the two I can think of, like Spider-Man and Batman, you end up with great Martha comes great responsibility.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
So in 1938, Kit Walker, the current Phantom, interrupts a group of grave robbers led by Quill who are searching for the Skull of Touganda, an ancient artifact capable of massive destruction. Totally reminded me of the Shankara stones from Temple of Doom.
Yes.
Which is going to give you a little bit of clue as to one of my answers for 3 questions a little bit later on.
Yes.
Kit rescues a kidnapped local boy, captures the criminals, and turns them over to the Jungle Patrol, which is slightly different than Paw Patrol, immediately establishing the Phantom as Bengalla's unseen protector. And we kind of get a little bit of a clue here as he's a little bit like a Batman in terms of he does kind of secretly meet with the British, general or admiral or whatever he is. And so they've got enough of a relationship where, it's a little bit of like the Batman rooftop thing. It's like, well, what are you here? What's the latest? What do you need me to track down? What do you like? They have a little bit of a secret relationship so that in normal polite company, the British guy is like, oh, the Phantom. Well, that's just that's a legend. He's not real. And then, at night they're meeting up. It's like, okay, what do we got now? Like, what do you need help with? What can I do? Kind of a deal. So they've got that kind of little relationship going on.
Yes.
Quill is revealed to be a member of the Sengh Brotherhood and the man responsible for killing Kit's father years earlier. Haunted by his father's ghost, who regularly appears to offer some guidance. Did you catch, actually, I don't think I mentioned him in the cast and crew stuff. Did you catch who that actor was?
Patrick McGowan, right?
Ah, yeah. What, do you remember what else we know him from?
Well, we know him from Braveheart, but he was also the prisoner way back in the day.
Yes. Yeah.
And just to like directly answer your question, I was kind of watching, and this is when I started the movie, and I mistakenly thought, okay, it was a box office bomb. I'm not sure and I was kind of like half watching, and all of a sudden I realized, like, wait a minute, that's Edward the Longchase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was all in the line delivery, right? It was the way he was saying certain things. I'm like, oh, I recognize that guy.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, especially that one line where he was like, "The trouble with the Sengh Brotherhood is it's full of Sengs."
Yeah, exactly.
If we can't beat them out, we'll breed them out.
I'm not a good judge of character. Isn't that his line when when he's like, yeah.
So Kit ends up watching as Quill escapes with the skull and flees to the United States, turning a local threat into more of a global one at this point. Now we switch gears and we are in New York City. We meet Diana Palmer, Kit's former girlfriend, we find out, and her uncle Dave Palmer, publisher of the World Tribune, because of course you have to have a newspaper involved if it's a 1930s superhero story.
Of course.
Dave is investigating the wealthy industrialist Xander Drax, because also if you're a villain, you need to have at least one X in your name.
Yeah, and what a great name that is, Xander Drax.
So we know exactly how villainous he is because he has two X's in his name.
Yes.
Even Lex Luthor does not have two X's in his name.
So no.
This guy is, Lex Luthor is chump change next to Xander Drax. His business dealings suggest some criminal ties, so Dave has been investigating him, Dave Palmer, the uncle. The trail leads to Bengalla, and Diana is sent to investigate despite Dave making the fatal mistake of alerting the corrupt police commissioner who secretly works with Drax. On her flight to Bengalla, Diana is captured when Sala, Drax's pilot and air pirate lieutenant, hijacks the plane. Diana is taken to a waterfront base, confirming Drax's reach extends well beyond New York City. The Jungle Patrol alerts the Phantom, tying Diana's fate directly to Kit's double life at this point. The Phantom rescues Diana from captivity, narrowly escaping Quill and his men, brings her to his hidden headquarters, the Skull Cave, which, how awesome is that hideout?
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you've got something called the Skull Cave and it also looks like an old library, sign me up.
Yes. The Skull Cave is a non-smoking zone.
Right, yeah.
There's no smoking in the Skull Cave.
Yes. Yes. That's the way you said that made it sound like a little bit. What was the Hermanos Rodriguez do not approve of drugs? There is no smoking in the Skull Cave.
Yeah. I know. Oh my gosh, that was such a great line.
While Diana doesn't yet know his identity, the rescue kind of reestablishes their connection, kind of raises the emotional stakes as the Skull of Touganda plot escalates at this point. Back in New York, Kit resumes his civilian identity and reunites with Diana at the World Tribune. A tip about a second skull at the Museum of World History leads them there and straight into a trap. Drax captures them at the museum, unites the two skulls, and reveals the location of the third skull on a dangerous, uncharted island known as the Devil's Vortex, which is also a fun name.
Yeah.
I think, isn't that what it's called when like the really cold air comes down from Canada and it gets like crazy sub-zero temperatures here? Isn't that called the Devil's Vortex?
It should be called the Devil's Vortex.
I think from now on I'm calling it the Devil's Vortex.
There was the Devil something else in the Thor.
Yeah, what was that
movie? That was the space bridge or the wormhole or whatever it was called.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of things called the Devil something, but that's probably not for us to get into.
Yeah, unless you're just passing through.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well,
I'm in the.
Yeah.
All right.
What's the saying? You got to get through before he knows you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Kit escapes, switching back to the Phantom to evade police outside the museum. Sala transports Drax. All of a sudden, this became a DS9 podcast.
Yeah, Dax is someone different.
Xander Dax. Now there's Ankylosaurs in the podcast. Drax, Quill, and the captive Diana towards the Devil's Vortex, unaware that the Phantom has secretly hitched a ride on the plane's pontoons. The chase moves fully into pulp adventure territory as all sides converge on the final skull. The skulls are united, but at a cost. On the island, Drax meets Kabai Sengh, descendant of the original pirate leader who possesses the third skull and warns of the existence of a fourth skull that controls the others. A climactic battle follows. Kabai Sengh is killed by sharks. Diana and Sala briefly join forces, and Drax activates the skull's power. Quill is accidentally disintegrated during the chaos. Let me stop for just a moment, because I feel like I need to read that paragraph again, because
there's a lot to it.
There was a lot going on there. I think this may be the most like pulp hero action story paragraph I might have ever read in my entire life.
And here it is.
So let's go back. Let's do it one more time. On the island, Drax meets Kabai Sengh, descendant of the original pirate leader, who possesses the third skull and warns of the existence of a fourth skull that controls the others. A climactic battle follows. Kabai Sengh is killed by sharks. Check. Diana and Sala briefly join forces. Check. Drax activates the skull's power, and Quill is accidentally disintegrated during the chaos. Check and check. That's outstanding.
Just wow.
The Phantom reveals the fourth skull is his own skull ring, turning the skull's energy back on Drax and destroying him. We have a little bit of a moment where their Schwartzes are fighting against each other there.
Right.
And the Phantom ends up, there's a massive explosion, triggers a volcanic eruption. We forgot to mention, this is in the middle of a volcano too, because that's a really important point.
Right.
The Phantom escapes with Diana and Sala, saving the day. Back in Bengalla, Diana reveals that she knows Kit's secret. He unmasks and tells her he can only fully reveal himself to the woman he intends to marry. She returns to New York, leaving the legend and their story unresolved. And unfortunately, because we're not getting the trilogy, we don't get the rest of the story.
I know.
But the story we got was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know.
So, all right. Since we've already started, I feel like we just need to make sure we dive right into our deep thoughts that we're already
right.
I think we're already waist high in the deep thoughts, but here we go.
And now, Deep Thoughts.
I have an opinion on this matter.
Don't mince words, Bones. What do you really think? I like it a lot.
Wow. It's very deep. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm not even going to ask. We already said that this is the first time we saw this movie, and I'm not going to ask if you like it, because I think we both liked it.
Yeah.
I do want to take a moment and do just a teeny tiny little bit of background on this character and his history in the comic strips. And like I said, I didn't have a lot of knowledge of this going into it, but I tried to collect up some different stories and different information that I could find. So here's what I got for us. The Phantom got created in 1936 by Lee Falk. And he's one of the very first kind of costume superheroes. He's predating Superman by 2 years. Superman's going to come out in 1938. So the Phantom kind of comes before him. So Falk had already been successful with a couple of other, like newspaper pulp or newspaper comic strip type things. Mandrake the Magician was another one that he had done. But this one, it's pulp adventure, kind of leaning into mythology and legacy and kind of like an early version of the superhero code that like Batman and Superman would follow and all these other people would follow. And I think what kind of sets him apart from other kind of superheroes is the whole legend of the ghost who walks. So unlike a lot of other heroes, he's not immortal. He's not invincible. He can be shot. He can be killed. He just kind of appears to be invincible because of the whole ghost who walks idea and the fact that it gets passed down from father to son, each one being trained from birth to take over this role. So over the course of generations, these criminals fear him because they come to believe they're facing the same man, which kind of turns the Phantom into like less of a person, more of a legend. kind of a deal.
Right.
And that's, from what I recall, that's not really something, you had something like The Shadow, but I don't believe that the Shadow story said, the Shadow's been around for hundreds of years kind of a deal. And, you're dealing with this being that's been around for centuries.
Right.
I believe the Phantom visually, I think the Phantom was kind of one of the first heroes to wear like the skin tight costume with the mask and the symbol and everything else. I don't recall that you had a lot of heroes that were doing that up to that point. I mean, later you would have Superman and Batman that do the same thing. I'm trying to remember if you had very many, if any, before that wore the same type of like what we were going to get used to seeing superheroes wear.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole kind of the branding of the superhero, like that kind of stuff. I don't think there were either there weren't many or he was the first.
Okay.
What's fun about the comic strip, as I was reading up on it, is it leaned into like that serialized storytelling, kind of like what you got from the Phantom radio show. It was globe-trotting adventures, pirates, lost civilizations, ancient curses. I mean, really, really in line with the pulp fiction of that whole era. Bengalla, the jungle nation, at the center of the whole thing was kind of this fictional playground where folk could kind of like bring together, there's colonial forces there. There's the jungle people that live there. There's the tribal society, all that other stuff. The Phantom, my understanding from the Phantom comic is that it was very much like a Superman type character and later on like a Rocketeer type character. It was, he's earnest, he's heroic, he's sincere, he's got a strict code that he lives by, and he's not dark and gritty. It's not like some of the other pulp stories where it's very, or like a noir type story where it's very kind of like everything's a little darker, everything's, a little bit more serious, all this other stuff. It's kind of like I want to say maybe like a more optimistic hero. And so all of this stuff kind of brings together what ended up being the character of the Phantom. And so very, very similar. We've already mentioned like super similar to the Shadow. Shadow came out a few years before in radio and pulp magazines. So the Shadow came out, kind of predated the Phantom. And then around the same time, I'm forgetting when, there was the character of Doc Savage, who was kind of the same, but he was more of he was like science and intelligence and physical strength. A little bit how we think of Batman as being like the peak of human physical strength. Doc Savage was kind of that character, but he also used science and he used his intellect. So sometimes I think of Doc Savage as being very much like what we get when we get, when you get the highly intelligent detective Batman. A lot of that I feel like comes from that kind of Doc Savage kind of a thing. Tarzan, when I was looking up some other stuff that was kind of around the time, Tarzan, very, very similar. Because in some of the Tarzan stories, it's based in the jungle. There's kind of multiple cultures involved. He's physically strong. He kind of operates outside of normal civilization and like where you'd normally see superheroes later on in the cities in America. And so I think that too is very much like, Tarzan is very, very similar to the Phantom. Batman, Zorro, like all these other characters that are kind of from around the same time period. Very, very similar ideas. And I think that's what, if you're listening to this podcast and you haven't seen this movie, if you're listening to all these names that we're listing off and we're saying, he's like this, he's like this character, he's like this character. If you like all those names, I think you're really going to enjoy this movie.
Yes. Yes, 100%.
Yeah. The other thought I had about this too is, you have a character like, this popped into my head as I was thinking about it. You have a character like Batman who, he also, loses his parents and he, kind of inherits the idea of I'm going to strike fear in people, whereas the Phantom has been raised from birth to this. So in my head, I've got the Bane voice going, "You only adopted the legend. I was born into it."
Yes.
But yeah, so if you love those type of stories, everything we just listed off, if you love those type of stories, the Doc Savage, the Tarzan, the Shadow, the Batman, Zorro, all that stuff, I really and truly think you're going to enjoy this movie. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. This is making me also want to go check out the comics too, because like I said, I've never read the comics, but enjoying the movie, I'm like, all right, I like the other stuff from this time period, so I'm probably going to go check that out at some point too.
Yeah, of course.
So, Pat, I don't know. What is there anything more we can say about the Phantom? Did you want to talk any more about Billy Zane? Did you want to talk about the horse? Did you?
I mean, the horseback riding was incredible. It really, I think we said everything, just kind of when it was set, when it came out, what it was paying homage to. It's funny, as I was watching it, I'm like, okay, busted at the box office. Okay, and then I was kind of half watching it. I'm like, wait a minute, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
This is really good. So what was it with the Rotten Tomatoes and CinemaScape or whatever the heck it's called score and all this kind of stuff? And I'm like, all right, they're just 100% wrong.
Right.
I read Siskel's review, and I'm like, okay, I'll click on that. Wait a minute, was it Siskel's or was it Ebert's? I think it was Roger Ebert's. I'm sorry, because that's the one that's like always linked at the top of IMDb.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was Ebert's, and
he gave it 3.5 stars.
That. Yeah, 3.5, and he just everything he said in that review, I 100% agree with.
Yeah,
it just great action. It's an incredible looking movie, a lot of talent, and then he said that it really toes the line perfectly between campy humor and serious action.
Yeah,
like it toes the line perfectly in balance, which is great. And I really don't have much else to say about it other than it's just a lot of fun. Well, okay, so I'm watching it, and then I got back, and it's like one action sequence after another, and it was funny because it's like, okay, we get about 3/4 of the way through the movie, and it's like, oh man, there's been horseback chases, wolves alerting horses that run under planes, and then you jump on them from the planes, and there's plane chases, and then they're in the dirigible. Or wait, I'm sorry, I'm screwing up. I'm getting it messed up with another movie, but because I was thinking almost like the Rocketeer, where it just gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
But like in this one, you've got all the plane sequences. I'm sorry, and I said the dirigible. I was thinking Rocketeer, but in this one, they're in the big seaplane.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, the little red seaplanes are going after it. You've got a plane chase.
Right.
And then they land that, and then there's they're on the island, and then it's a horse chase. And like I mentioned earlier, the wolf tells the horse, and then it's a plane chase with the trucks and the horses. And then they're jumping from the planes to the horses right into a truck chase with the horses. And it's just like, this is incredible. And then they get to New York, and there's like a car chase, and then they're on the roofs of cars.
Yeah.
And then they're on horses with cars. And it was funny because I was thinking to myself, I'm just like, yeah, right. Yeah. Like the only thing this movie's missing is just motorcycles. Wait, there's the motorcycles.
Yeah.
It's like this movie really has everything. And it's just great fun. And it's just like the action sequences are fun. And, now when and it's nothing against it, but, now you have movies where, like when they're going to have, they're training, there's going to be fight sequences. So, the actors go in for like intensive 8 months of mixed martial arts training. Right.
Right.
And this one, the fights looked good, but it was just kind of a little bit more old fashioned, where it was like haymakers and punches and like grabbing guys and throwing them around. And I mean, it was fun to see that different style of hand-to-hand combat sequences. Yeah. So it's just a lot of fun.
So I want to kind of leave us off before we go into 3 questions. I actually want to read the last paragraph and a half or so of the Roger Ebert review, because I think this kind of sums it up nicely. So Roger Ebert's review from 1996, he says, "The Phantom was written by Jeffrey Boehm, who wrote Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. It has the breakneck energy of the Indiana Jones movies and the same love of fedora hats and very big old trucks. But it's not Indy in a purple suit. It has its own distinctive tone and feel and a certain innocence. The PG rating indicates it's suitable for families, and so it is, because it lacks unnecessary violence and sexuality, but that doesn't mean it's not red-blooded. It's in love with a period when there were islands not on any map. One or two brave people could change history, and characters could shout out things like, "Have you heard the exciting news? We're going to the Devil's Vortex." So I think that, I mean, a lot of stuff we talk about in our podcast, like we try to be family friendly because we know we've got, listeners who oftentimes may have younger kids. And sometimes it's a little tough. Like when you're trying to find something to show to your younger kids and you want to show them superhero stuff. But, I would even say if you have younger kids, while I loved the newest Superman movie, there was a little bit more profanity in the newer Superman movie than I would be willing to show to a younger child. Whereas this movie, I don't think I'd have as much of a problem showing this movie to a younger child because it's PG. And it shows that you can absolutely do a superhero movie and you don't need some of that extra stuff.
Yes.
It can be done well. It can be filmed well. It can look wonderful. It can be an exciting action movie, and you don't have to have some of that other stuff thrown in. I don't say that to dog on the new Superman movie because I loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. But if you are looking for a fun superhero kind of action movie to show to younger kids and that everybody in the family can enjoy, one like this. I think this is a perfect example. And it's just between the team that put it together, the team of actors that's in it, this one is the whole package.
Yes. Yes to everything.
So I think Pat and I tell you, if we had more than 4 thumbs between the two of us, our whole gaggle of thumbs would be up.
Yes. I'm lifting all of my thumbs up right now.
There we go. We might even go collect a few more thumbs just so we can put them up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's time.
You want a thumb, dude? I can get you a thumb.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You want a leg? I can get you a leg. Look at that guy over there. Took his leg. All right, so we're going to take the 3 question skulls, put them together, and see what happens.
He asks each traveler 5 questions. 3 questions. 3 questions.
It's impossible to answer.
Impossible because you don't know the answer.
Nobody could answer that question.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
All right, question number 1. What is your vehicle of choice between these two? And Pat, I feel like I might already know your answer, but maybe not. A private seaplane or a white stallion?
Well, I got to go with the white stallion, but I
kind of figured.
Gotta love those seaplanes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to go with the white stallion. That's awesome.
Okay. All right. That's all right. I'm going to balance it out because I'm going to the seaplane. Any chance to fly. That'll be my vehicle of choice.
Right on.
All right. Question number 2. What is the best mustache on a villain? Treat Williams was sporting the villain mustache in this one. So when we think about mustachioed villains, whether they are bushy or whether they are twirling them, what's the best mustache on a villain?
Boy, that's a tough one. You got some for us?
Well, I'm going to say maybe because of the time he takes to perfect it. Well, here, my runner-up, I think, might be Johnny Ringo from Tombstone. He's got a pretty good mustache in Tombstone. But I think my winner is going to be, Johnny Ringo's my runner-up. But I think my winner for this one has got to be Dustin Hoffman's Captain Hook from Hook.
Yeah, yes. Those are great. And like you said, Johnny Ringo.
The amount of time that Dustin Hoffman's Captain Hook spends even just, caring for his mustache that he needs to twirl later on is just, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think you got some good answers. I struggled with this one to narrow it down.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to say, any of the folks in Tombstone.
Yeah.
That was really good. We could say Mr. Spock from the Mirror Universe. I mean, that was a goatee. Yeah. That's slightly different. But but he definitely wore that one well.
I feel like any cowboy movie that Sam Elliott is in,
Yeah.
He always has a pretty good mustache.
He does, but is he a villain?
No, he's not a villain. I guess that's true. Sheriff of Nottingham, Alan Rickman,
Yeah.
in Robin Hood, Prince of
Alan
Thieves.
Rickman.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You can always go TV, like the saloon owner in Deadwood.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Deadwood?
I haven't. I have not seen it.
That's a fun Western show. I think it was on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
I had pulled up a list of villains with mustaches. Oh, spoiler alert too. Next month, our Patreon episode is going to be the 1966 Batman movie.
Oh boy.
So another great villain who has a fun mustache is from the 1966 Batman TV show. Vincent Price played a villain called Egghead.
Okay.
And he had a mustache.
Hilarious.
I mean, you got your Gomez Adams. You've got some of the pirates in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Well, but it's not villain. I was going to say Johnny Depp's pretty impressive as Jack Sparrow. Jack Sparrow's not really a villain.
No,
he's a miscreant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ming the Merciless from Flash Gordon's got a fun one.
Yeah.
That's kind of the Fu Manchu style mustache there.
Mm-hmm.
Did Hans Gruber have a mustache?
He did not.
He did not. Okay.
Well, I mean, he had, because he had the beard. He had the beard and mustache.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, there's some good ones out there.
All good choices.
No. All right. And finally, question number 3. You have been tasked with he tasks me to create a crossover movie with the Phantom and one other hero from the 30s or 40s era. Which other hero are you choosing?
Well, I think you already took one of the ones I was thinking of.
You go ahead.
So this one's hard, but well, yes and no. Why did I just draw a complete blank? I'm embarrassed that I drew. Oh, I know, Rocketeer. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
I would love to see him with the Rocketeer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like you'd have to do some storytelling to kind of, get them together in the same location, the same area, the same whatever. But I just think those styles would mesh up perfectly.
The Nazis were in Africa.
Yeah.
So we can make that happen.
What do you got?
Well, the moment I saw the rope bridge at the beginning of this movie, I'm like, Indiana Jones.
Right.
It's got to be Indiana Jones.
It'd be perfect.
Like between the rope bridge, the Shankara skulls, all that stuff. From the moment I saw those, I'm like, that would be the perfect team up because you've got Indy, who is like a little hesitant. He's always, even though he's seen some stuff, he's a little hesitant to believe in the things that he has already somehow seen. He's like, that's all a bunch of superstitious mumbo jumbo. Did you not just see the Ark of the Covenant open up?
Right.
And somehow you think all this stuff is still superstition? Like,
sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, he shut his eyes, so
well, that's true. That is true. Being studied by top men. Yeah, I think that would be an awesome team up. Like, I think Indiana Jones, in Africa, teaming up with I was about to say the Shadow, with the Phantom.
Mm-hmm.
Like that combination of almost kind of like a little bit of ridicule of like, who is this guy in the spandex? Like what is going on here? But I think another interesting part you could do with the story is, and especially if you treat it as something that may have happened after Last Crusade, you've got Indy, and maybe it's because we get a little bit of this, I think, from, it might have been Crystal Skull. We see a photo of Henry Jones Sr., and the idea is that he's passed on. He's not there anymore. And I wonder if you could build in some kind of a story element to his father has just passed, and now he's teaming up with the Phantom. And one of the big things about the Phantom is this whole thing is passed from father to son. So maybe that becomes some kind of like a story element in the movie of like some kind of father-son passing things along type of a deal, and some kind of like myth or legend in the African jungle. And I think that'd be an awesome team up if you had Indiana Jones team up with the Phantom.
Right.
All right. I think that's going to do it. This is an awesome movie. So again,
yes,
If you have not seen this one, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. If you have seen this one and you want to see it in the best possible way you can, it sounds like there may be a 4K version of this coming for the 30th anniversary sometime this year. So if that happens to come out, then I'll throw in a reminder on a later episode. Anybody who ever wants to check on that kind of stuff, if you go to BLU-RAY.com, so Blu-ray.com, if you go to that website and you look up different Blu-rays on there, I believe there is a spot where you can enter your email address for a specific movie, and once it comes out on Blu-ray or 4K or whatever, they will actually send you an email and let you know that it's been released. So if that's something where you're looking forward to something, you want to keep track of it, that's a good way to kind of, keep track of things if you want to buy them on physical, because as some of our other friends, Dayton Johnson on Docking Bay 77 has always said that physical is always better.
Mm-hmm.
As nobody else can see it except for me and Pat, but sitting behind me here are my new shelves I was able to put up for all of my DVDs and Blu-rays and whatnot.
Yes.
Big fan of physical media. So
yes, it is an imposing array, John. Not just awesome, but imposing.
It's a lot of fun. I had some stuff stacked up because I think my family at one point might have said, "Why don't you stop buying them?" And to which, if they didn't say that, maybe I felt like they were going to tell me that at one point. Mm-hmm. Which is why I hide them all down here in the basement. So maybe people don't get to regularly see how much I have.
Right.
And so
I think
we don't ask those questions then.
I think the answer to that question, why not just stop buying them is because you're not giving up on the dream.
That's
right?
also true.
That because failure is not an option.
Well, that and someday Netflix and all these other things will go away.
Yep.
And the hope is I'll still have some kind of a player to be able to play these things.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
All right. Well, yes. Patrick, as always, thank you for being here. Really enjoy talking movies. Glad that we found a movie that you had a commando level response to.
Oh, it was incredible.
So. Always a lot of fun. Check us out, 30podcast.com. If you want to head over to our website, you can find all the other past episodes there. Our next episode's coming up is our last episode for the month of January for our Double Lives month. So far, we've had Mission Impossible, Multiplicity. This week was The Phantom. Cable Guy is coming up next week. That's our last episode for the month of January. If you're joining us over there on Patreon, the paid episode is Freeway, and that is from 1996. It's kind of a little bit of a maybe, let's say, dark and gritty retelling of the Little Red Riding Hood story. It's Kiefer Sutherland and Reese Witherspoon, a very young Reese Witherspoon. So that is our Patreon for this month. Our Patreon short I'll be doing an overview of the Nash Bridges TV series. It was one of my dad's favorites. It came out in 1996, so I'll do kind of a little overview of that one as our free to the public Patreon short over there. But so much fun stuff. We have got, if you're looking for movies to listen to podcasts on, you got a long trip coming up, you need to mow your lawn, you need to jog somewhere, whatever you're doing, we have got close to 700 plus episodes with plenty of movies. So if you're looking for stuff to listen to, we've probably got it. So come on over and check it out. In the meantime, everybody, be excellent to each other. Go watch some good movies. Definitely go watch this one if you have not already. And you know what? We'll see you back here next time.